The smell of olive oil on leather never leaves your hands. It is in the straps of the shield, in the wool of your tunic, in the sour sweat of 3 weeks in the field. You are tightening the leather grip of the porpax in the light of a single lamp. The bronze cheek pieces press cold against your jaw. This is you, an Athenian hoplite, at Marathon, the 11th of September, 490 BC. By sunset, 6,000 men will lie dead in the marsh below you. You will march 42 kilometers in armor by nightfall. The city you left will still stand free. You are not a warrior. You are a farmer who voted to come here. Everything you know about this day is incomplete. Today, we decode the real one. The date is the new moon of Boedromion, the 11th of September, 490 BC. It is the 5th year of the reign of Darius, the first of Persia. You are standing on the high ground above the plain of Marathon, in what is today the region of northeast Attica in modern Greece. Below you, the plain runs flat to the sea. The blue rectangle of Marathon Bay sits in the middle distance. The Persian ships are drawn up on the beach. To the far south, the peninsula of Cape Sunion cuts into the water. Beyond it, out of sight, lies the city of Athens. Your side numbers approximately 9,000 hoplites, plus around 1,000 Plataean allies. That is the entire military strength of Athens. Every citizen who owns armor is here. The city itself is undefended. Across the plain, modern scholars estimate the Persian force at 20 to 25,000 men. According to Greek sources, their cavalry has just been re-embarked at sea. The horses are on the ships. The road from this battlefield back to Athens is 42 kilometers long, 26 miles. It winds south around Mount Pentelicus by the coast. And on the high ground above the plain, a tent smells of olive oil and old sweat. Inside it, a 31-year-old farmer is buckling on the armor he bought himself. You wake in the dark. The wool of the tunic is stiff with old sweat. The ground is cold through the reed mat. Above the tent, the first gray line is opening on the eastern sea. You stand. You reach for the greaves first, because that is the order. Bronze plates shaped to your calves, hinged along the outer bone, laced with leather at the ankle. Cold metal against warm skin. The seal is tight. Then the thorax. 2 shaped bronze halves, front and back, cinched together at the shoulder and the flank. The weight lands on the collarbone and the pelvic ridge. It presses. It has been pressing for 6 mornings. Then the kranos, the helmet, last. The bronze cheek pieces close against the jaw. The horsehair crest brushes the top of the tent. You leave the red chlamys folded on the ground. It is warm. This morning you do not want warm. This morning you want your arms bare and free. The shield sits by the door. You thread your left forearm through the porpax, the bronze armband set into the inner curve of the hoplon. Your hand finds the leather grip at the rim. 30 kilograms of bronze and wood are now attached to your left side. Callias is outside. He is the farmer whose olive grove touches your own on the western slope of Parnitha. He is married to your wife's cousin. He is 8 years older than you, on his 4th campaign, and his shield is already on his arm. In the line today, his shield will cover the right side of your body. Yours will cover his. The generals have argued for 5 days. This morning, the argument is over. Miltiades has won the vote. Today, they attack. The phalanx forms on the heights. 9,000 hoplites, 8 ranks deep, the line stretching across the mouth of the valley. The Plataean allies hold the left. The Athenians hold the center and the right. Miltiades has thinned the center on purpose. Weight goes to the wings. Then, from 9,000 throats, the paean begins. It is a hymn, but it does not sound like a hymn. It sounds like a low, ragged wall of noise pushed from the diaphragm of an army. It moves through the bronze of your thorax and into the bone of your ribs. Callias is chanting on your right. You cannot hear him alone. The line begins to walk. Then it trots. At perhaps 200 yards from the Persian front, the order comes to run. This is not how Greeks fight. Greeks do not charge in full armor. The Persian archers are drawing, and Miltiades wants the distance under their arrows short. 30 kilograms of bronze rise and fall on your shoulders. The cheek pieces of the Kranos slap against your jaw at every stride. The porpax bites into your left forearm. Then the lines meet. It is not a duel. There is no space for one. The front rank of Athenian spears drives into the wall of Persian wicker shields, and behind you, the ranks push, physically, bodily. Your back is pressed against the shield of the man behind you. His shield is pressed against yours. The formation is one animal, rank pressing rank. Your spear punches over Callias's shield into a gap. You do not see who you hit. You feel the shaft jolt in your hand. Behind you, the voice of your wife's cousin is shouting. You cannot see him. The Persian center is breaking. The wings are folding in on it. And down in the camp, on the beach, the Persian ships are already pulling up their anchors. Hey, if you've made it this far, shield still on your arm, you're my kind of viewer. Hit subscribe on Decoded by Jack, because that famous 26-mile distance, it commemorates something that happened after the battle you just watched, and the story you've heard your whole life replaced the real feat with a smaller one. The battle is over by midday. The Persian center has been driven into the marsh below the plain. Bodies are settling into the reeds where they fell. On the beach, the surviving Persian ships are already pulling their oars. The order comes down the line. The fleet is turning south. Cape Sunion, Athens, the city is undefended. Its entire army is standing on this battlefield, 42 kilometers away. The ships will make Athens before nightfall unless the army does. You do not eat. You do not drink. Your hands are still shaking. You bend, you pick up the hoplon by its rim, and you thread your left arm back through the porpax. The bronze armband finds the same groove in the skin it wore all morning. The army begins to march south. The coastal road bends around the base of Mount Pentelicus. You are in armor. 9,000 of you. The road is not paved. The sun is past its peak. By the third hour, the porpax is cutting into your bicep. The leather grip is slick with sweat. The pale groove in your skin from the morning has become a red furrow. Your shoulders are burning. Your feet are wet inside the sandals. You pass a patch of open ground where the Persian cavalry had stood the day before. Horse manure, old dust. That smell is why you could attack today. Because the horses were on the ships. Because the ships were at sea. Because everything that has just happened. Behind you, Callias is still marching. You do not turn to check. If you turn, you might stop. The sun is past its peak. The army is on the coastal road. And in Athens, 40 kilometers south, nobody knows yet whether they have won, lost, or are about to be sacked. The army reaches the harbor of Phaleron before the sun is fully down. The Persian ships are still visible offshore, oars still moving. Then they see armed Greek soldiers standing on the beach where they had expected an undefended city. The fleet does not land. It turns. The oars pull east into open water. The war is over. You sit down with your back against the outer wall of the city. Your legs are shaking. The stone is warm from the day. You unbuckle the shield. You slide your left arm out of the porpax. And there, along the inside of your forearm, is the imprint, a livid band of pressed flesh where the bronze armband held for 14 hours. The skin around it is pale from cut circulation. Blood is starting to return. The arm tingles from elbow to wrist. You have not eaten all day. Your mouth is dry. The taste of iron is somewhere in your throat. Callias is beside you against the wall. He is alive. His forearm has the same band as yours. Your wife's cousin is dead, killed in the pursuit through the marsh. His body has not been recovered. Someone told you on the road an hour ago. You have not yet understood the sentence. Tomorrow there will be funerals. Tonight there is only the wall, the dust, and the arm. That is the day. Now let me tell you what the modern world got wrong about it. 3 things, all of them famous, all of them wrong. Decoded. Number 1. Phalanx combat was a shove, not a duel. Here's what you were probably taught, if you were taught anything. Greek warfare was a slaughter of individual duels. The strongest, the bravest, the most skilled survived. Every hoplite for himself. Spear against spear. That's not what happened. The Greek phalanx fought like a rugby scrum, 8 ranks deep. The men in the front engaged with spears. The men in the back put their shields against the backs of the men in front of them and pushed, physically, bodily. The Greeks called this the othismos, the shove. Herodotus says 192 Athenians died at Marathon. He says 6,400 Persians died. Modern scholars think the Persian number is inflated, but the ratio is the point. Most of that killing did not happen in the clash. It happened after the Persian line broke, when men running from a scrum got caught from behind. That is what killed a Persian army at Marathon. Not swordsmanship, not glory. Coordinated mechanical pressure by a mass of farmers in bronze. Decoded dead number 2. Pheidippides never ran to Athens. Here is the story you know. A man named Pheidippides ran from Marathon to Athens with news of the victory. He gasped, "Nenekekamen, we have won," and died on the spot. That story does not appear in a single source for 600 years after the battle. Pheidippides was real. Herodotus writes about him 50 years after Marathon. But in Herodotus, Pheidippides ran a different race. Athens to Sparta before the battle, 240 kilometers to ask for Spartan reinforcements. The Spartans refused on religious grounds. He ran back. The dying runner story first appears 6 centuries later in an essay by Plutarch called On the Glory of the Athenians. In Plutarch, the runner is not named Pheidippides. He is named Eucles. The version everyone knows, the name, the dying word, the modern Marathon, was assembled by a Victorian poet in 1879. It was codified at the first modern Olympics in 1896. The real Pheidippides ran farther than the fake one. He did it before the battle, not after. Decoded number 3. The marathon was the army. The 26-mile distance is real. It commemorates an actual feat performed on the 11th of September, 490 BC. But the feat was not performed by one man. After the battle ended at midday, the Athenian generals realized the Persian fleet was rowing south to attack Athens itself. The city was undefended. The city's entire army was standing on this battlefield 42 kilometers away. So the army marched, in armor, on the same day after a morning of combat. 9,000 men, exhausted, blood-splattered, still carrying 30 kilograms of bronze on their bodies, walked 42 kilometers in an afternoon. They reached Athens before the Persian ships could land. That is what 26 miles means. The Victorian version replaced that army with one runner, a man alone, dying at the end of a road, gasping a single word, The story got smaller. Every year, more than 1 million people run a marathon in athletic shoes. They think they are honoring an athlete. They are honoring an army of farmers in bronze. You sit against the outer wall of Athens. The sun is going down over the Saronic Gulf. The Hoplite lies flat in the dust beside you, its outer face turned up. Your left arm rests across your knee. The leather grip of the porpax is still wet with the sweat of 14 hours. The bronze armband has left a pale, livid band around your forearm. The skin above the band is dark with sunburn. The skin under it is pale, blood-starved, tingling. You do not think about the battle. You do not think about your wife's cousin. You do not think about tomorrow. You think about the arm. 25 centuries from now, his name will be lost. The city he walked back to today will be a ruin and a museum. The shield will sit in a glass case in the National Archaeological Museum 2 miles from the spot where he is sitting right now. And every year, on roads all over the world, more than 1 million people will run 26 miles in athletic shoes. They believe they are honoring a runner. They are honoring him. They just do not know it.